Shown in blue on the right is the graph of a function f. Express f of x in terms of the function capital F of x equal log base a of x, shown in red on the left. Well, let's first focus on the graph in red. This is the graph of the log base a of x, where apparently a is greater than 1, as we can see here by the point a comma 1 being graphed. In fact, it looks as though a may be 2, though it's difficult to say for certain. Now, from that, we can learn a few things about the graph. It is a logarithm. We see that it's approaching the y-axis as the input x goes to 0. That's a natural characteristic of a logarithm. It grows, and the point 1, 0 is on the graph. That's because the log base a of 1 is equal to 0 for any base a. Of course, that's because any number a to the 0 power gives 1. That's, if we rewrite the logarithm in its exponential form, we can see why that's the case. So the point 1, 0 is on this graph. Likewise, 1 over a, it corresponds to the exponent of a being negative 1. That's why this point is on there. A squared corresponds to the point y equal 2, because the exponent of a is 2 in that case. And that is generally the shape of a logarithm graph. Now we have to consider the blue curve, which is apparently related to the red curve in some way. And we can see what the relationship is by comparing some of the related points. If we look at this point, 1 over a negative 1, compare it with this point on the blue curve, that's negative 1 over a negative 1. We can see that the x values have opposite values, but the y values are the same. Likewise, for 1, 0 on the red graph of capital F, we have the point negative 1, 0 on the blue graph of little f. The point a1 on the red graph corresponds to the point negative a1 on the blue graph, and the point a squared 2 corresponds to negative a squared 2. And what we're seeing is that for the graph of little f, we can obtain all of the points indicated if we compute the value of the graph of capital F at the opposite x value. So f of x is equal to f of the opposite of x, that is, little f of x equals capital F of negative x. So, if we were to express f of x in terms of the function capital F, we've just done so. If you want to write that out in logarithmic, or in terms of the logarithm base a, we're looking at the log base a of the opposite of x.